Welcome to Who Immortal Today, the place where fame, time, and transformation come together. Today, we're exploring Gone Too Soon, 5 beloved celebrities who recently left us. Trust me, their incredible transformations will blow your mind. From Hollywood's most charming stars to music legends who ruled the charts, these icons look completely different from how you remember them. Some embraced aging with grace, others totally reinvented their image, and a few, you might not even recognize them anymore. Get ready for stunning before and after reveals, behind-the-scenes stories, and a few unexpected twists you won't want to miss. News 1. Tina Turner, the Queen of Rock and Roll. Tina Turner, born Anna Mae Bullock on November 26, 1939 in Nutbush, Tennessee, was more than just a singer. She was a force of nature, with a powerhouse voice, electrifying stage presence, and a life story that reads like a tale of triumph. Turner became one of the most iconic and influential performers in music history. Known globally as the Queen of Rock and Roll, she left an indelible mark on popular culture that spanned over 6 decades. Tina's music career began in the late 1950s, when she joined Ike Turner's band, later becoming the star attraction of the Ike and Tina Turner Revue. Their energetic live performances and chart-topping hits like River Deep, Mountain High, and Proud Mary made them one of the most dynamic duos in soul and rock music. Tina's raspy, fiery voice and fearless persona distinguished her from her peers, earning her a reputation as one of the greatest live performers of her generation. However, behind the scenes, Tina endured years of abuse in her marriage and professional relationship with Ike Turner. In the late 1970s, she made the courageous decision to leave the relationship and start over personally and professionally. In 1984, her solo album Private Dancer catapulted her back into the spotlight. The lead single, What's Love Got to Do With It, became a worldwide hit and earned her the Grammy Award for Record of the Year. The album sold over 10 million copies globally and re-established Tina as a solo superstar. Over the next 2 decades, she released several successful albums, including Break Every Rule and Foreign Affair, while also embarking on sold-out world tours. Turner's accolades are numerous: 12 Grammy Awards, induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, both as part of Ike and Tina and later as a solo artist, and a Kennedy Center honor. In 1993, her story was adapted into the critically acclaimed film What's Love Got to Do With It, starring Angela Bassett, which brought her life's trials and triumphs to a new generation. Beyond music, Tina Turner's influence extended into fashion, film, and even spirituality. She became a symbol of resilience, self-empowerment, and transformation. Later in life, she embraced Buddhism, moved to Switzerland, and became a Swiss citizen. In her memoirs, including I, Tina, and My Love Story, she shared candid insights into her life, love, and pursuit of peace. Tina Turner passed away on May 24, 2023 at the age of 83, after a long illness. Her death marked the end of an era, but her legacy continues to inspire. Tributes poured in from around the world, celebrating her groundbreaking contributions to music and her unwavering strength. More than just a music legend, Tina Turner embodied what it means to survive, reinvent, and rise. She was a pioneer not only in sound, but in spirit. A woman who turned pain into power and found her voice even when others tried to silence it. As she once said, "I believe that if you'll just stand up and go, life will open up for you." Tina Turner did just that, and the world was better for it. News 2. Raquel Welch, 1940-2023. A trailblazing icon of beauty, talent, and strength. Raquel Welch, born Jo Raquel Tejada on September 5, 1940 in Chicago, Illinois, emerged as one of Hollywood's most enduring and recognizable icons. Best known for her stunning beauty, signature style, and powerful on-screen presence, Welch was more than a 1960s sex symbol. She was a pioneering actress who defied the narrow expectations placed on women in film and helped pave the way for future generations. Welch was the daughter of a Bolivian-born aeronautical engineer and an American mother of English descent. Raised in San Diego, California, she showed early promise in the arts, winning beauty pageants as a teenager and studying ballet. After a brief stint as a weather presenter and local model, she pursued an acting career in Los Angeles, determined to make her mark. Her breakthrough came in 1966 with the release of Fantastic Voyage, a science fiction adventure that showcased her presence and charisma. However, it was her role in 1 Million Years BC, later that year, that catapulted her to international fame. Though she had only a few lines, Welch's iconic image in a deerskin bikini became a defining visual of 1960s pop culture. That poster adorned college dorm rooms around the world and cemented her status as a global sex symbol. But Welch was determined not to be pigeonholed. In an industry that often reduced women to ornamental roles, she sought out diverse characters that challenged stereotypes. Her performances in films such as Myra Breckinridge 1970, where she played a transgender character, and The Three Musketeers 1973, for which she won a Golden Globe, demonstrated her range and fearlessness. Critics began to take notice of her acting abilities, not just her looks. Throughout the 1970s and 1980s, Welch remained a prominent figure in Hollywood. She balanced film roles with television appearances, including popular variety specials and guest spots, showcasing her comedic timing and flair for performance. She also became a businesswoman, launching a line of wigs and beauty products that reflected her long-standing interest in fashion and self-care. In addition to her film and business achievements, Welch authored books on beauty and fitness, advocating for a holistic approach to health and aging gracefully. She became an inspiration to women around the world, not only for her glamour, but for her independence and resilience in an industry that often overlooked older actresses. Welch's legacy is one of empowerment. At a time when female roles were often secondary and one-dimensional, she demanded more. She helped redefine what it meant to be a female star, combining sex appeal with intelligence, ambition, and versatility. As she once said, "I was not brought up to be a sex symbol, nor is it in my nature to be one. The fact that I became one is probably the loveliest, most glamorous, and fortunate misunderstanding." Raquel Welch passed away on February 15, 2023 at the age of 82, following a brief illness. Her death marked the end of an era, but her influence endures. She left behind a body of work that spans decades, a reputation for breaking barriers, and a legacy of strength and grace. In the annals of Hollywood history, Raquel Welch stands as a trailblazer, a woman who dared to be more than beautiful, who fought for meaningful roles, and who carved out a lasting place for herself in the entertainment world. She will be remembered not only as a screen siren, but as a symbol of empowerment and evolution in American cinema. News 3. Jerry Lee Lewis, 1935-2022, the wild heart of rock and roll. Jerry Lee Lewis, nicknamed The Killer, was a trailblazing American singer, songwriter, and pianist whose explosive energy and rebellious spirit helped shape the birth of rock and roll. Born on September 29, 1935 in Faraday, Louisiana, Lewis grew up in a religious working-class family. From a young age, he showed a natural talent for music, especially the piano. He was inspired by gospel, country, and blues, a fusion that would define his signature style. Raised in the Deep South, Lewis learned to play piano by ear and performed boogie-woogie and gospel tunes with fierce passion. Despite a brief enrollment at a Christian music school, he was expelled for playing what was considered the devil's music. That defiance would characterize his career. By the early 1950s, Lewis was performing in clubs and recording demos, eventually making his way to the legendary Sun Records studio in Memphis, where he joined a roster that included Elvis Presley, Johnny Cash, and Carl Perkins. In 1956, Lewis recorded his first hit, Whole Lotta Shakin' Goin' On, which became a rock and roll anthem. But it was 1957's Great Balls of Fire that turned him into a superstar. His high-energy performances, complete with wild piano playing, leaping on instruments, and pounding the keys with fists and feet, set him apart in a field dominated by guitarists. Audiences had never seen anything like him. Lewis's impact on rock music was immediate and profound. He brought a raw, almost chaotic energy to the stage, combining the rhythms of Southern gospel with the rebelliousness of rock. His influence would be felt by countless artists, from Elvis Presley to Bruce Springsteen and Elton John. His unorthodox style, both musically and personally, helped define the wild, untamed spirit of early rock and roll. However, Lewis's career faced a devastating setback in 1958, when news broke that he had married his 13-year-old cousin, Myra Gale Brown, his third wife. The scandal caused widespread public outrage and led to canceled shows and a near-complete blacklisting from radio and television. At the peak of his fame, Lewis found himself cast out of the mainstream music world. Despite this fall from grace, Lewis refused to disappear. Through the 1960s and 1970s, he redefined himself as a country music star, releasing hit after hit on the country charts. Songs like What's Made Milwaukee Famous, has made a loser out of me, and she even woke me up to say goodbye, earned him respect in a new genre, and his gritty voice and emotional storytelling won him a second loyal fan base. Over the decades, Lewis remained a symbol of defiance, a survivor of rock's most volatile era. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1986 as part of its first class, and received numerous honors, including a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. In his later years, he continued to perform and record, with his 2006 album Last Man Standing, featuring collaborations with Mick Jagger, Bruce Springsteen, and other music legends. Jerry Lee Lewis passed away on October 28, 2022, at the age of 87. His death marked the end of an era. He was the last surviving member of the Million Dollar Quartet, and one of the few remaining links to the genesis of rock and roll. Lewis's legacy is complex and controversial, but undeniably significant. He was a musical force who broke boundaries with both brilliance and recklessness. His influence on rock, country, and American culture is immeasurable. In the words of many who knew and admired him, Jerry Lee Lewis didn't just play rock and roll, he was rock and roll. News 4. Angela Lansbury, 1925-2022. A timeless star of stage and screen, Angela Lansbury was a legendary actress whose remarkable career spanned nearly 8 decades, encompassing theater, film, and television. Best known to millions as Jessica Fletcher in the long-running TV series Murder, she wrote. Lansbury was also a powerhouse performer on Broadway and a respected figure in Hollywood. She passed away on October 11, 2022, at the age of 96, leaving behind a legacy defined by versatility, grace, and an unwavering dedication to her craft. Born Angela Bridget Lansbury on October 16, 1925 in London, England, she was the daughter of Irish actress Moyna McGill and politician Edgar Lansbury. After her father's death when she was just 9 years old, Lansbury found solace in the performing arts. Her family fled to the United States during World War II, settling in New York before moving to Los Angeles, where Lansbury studied acting. Her big break came at the age of 17, when she signed a contract with MGM Studios and earned an Academy Award nomination for her debut role as the conniving maid in Gaslight, 1944. She received another Oscar nomination for her role in The Picture of Dorian Gray, 1945, quickly establishing herself as a gifted character actress. Throughout the 1940s and 50s, she appeared in a range of supporting roles, often playing characters much older than her actual age. One of her most iconic film performances came in 1962's The Manchurian Candidate, where she played the manipulative mother of a brainwashed soldier, a role that earned her a third Oscar nomination. Though often cast in secondary roles in Hollywood, Lansbury's talent was unmistakable and respected by peers and critics alike. In the 1960s, Lansbury turned to the stage, where she found new artistic freedom and critical acclaim. Her Broadway debut in Anyone Can Whistle was followed by a star-making performance in Mame, 1966, which earned her the first of 5 Tony Awards. She continued to dominate the stage with unforgettable performances in musicals like Gypsy, Sweeney Todd, and Blithe Spirit, earning her a reputation as one of Broadway's most beloved stars. Television audiences around the world came to know and love Lansbury through her portrayal of Jessica Fletcher in Murder, she wrote, which ran from 1984 to 1996. As a sharp, kind-hearted mystery writer turned amateur sleuth, Lansbury brought intelligence, charm, and strength to a role that broke new ground for women on television. She received 12 consecutive Emmy nominations for the part and became a cultural icon in the process. In addition to her stage and screen work, Lansbury lent her distinctive voice to animation, most memorably as Mrs. Potts in Disney's Beauty and the Beast, 1991, where her rendition of the title song remains one of the film's most cherished moments. Throughout her life, Angela Lansbury remained a dedicated performer and humanitarian. She was made a Dame Commander of the Order of the British Empire, DBE, in 2014 for her services to drama and charitable work. She also received an honorary Academy Award in 2013, recognizing the breadth and depth of her contributions to film. Angela Lansbury's career was defined by elegance, endurance, and excellence. Whether playing a Broadway diva, a chilling villain, or a kindly detective, she brought depth and humanity to every role. Her ability to reinvent herself across generations and genres made her a rare and enduring talent. Lansbury's passing in October 2022 marked the end of an extraordinary era in entertainment. Yet her legacy lives on through her unforgettable performances and the countless lives she touched with her artistry. Angela Lansbury was not only a star of her time, she was a timeless star for all time. News 5. Queen Elizabeth II, 1926-2022. A legacy of duty, grace, and continuity. Queen Elizabeth II, the longest reigning monarch in British history, passed away on September 8, 2022, at the age of 96. Her reign of 70 years was marked by immense change, both within the United Kingdom and across the globe. From the end of the Second World War to the dawn of the 21st century, Queen Elizabeth II was a constant figure of stability and continuity, embodying the evolving nature of both the British monarchy and the modern world. Born on April 21, 1926, Elizabeth Alexandra Mary Windsor was the first child of the Duke and Duchess of York, later King George VI, and Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother. As a young girl, Elizabeth never anticipated that she would one day become queen. Her father, George VI, had not been expected to ascend the throne, but his unexpected coronation in 1936 following the abdication of his brother, Edward VIII, changed the course of history. Elizabeth became the heir presumptive, and it was clear from an early age that she was being prepared for a role of immense responsibility. In 1947, at the age of 21, Elizabeth married Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, and they had 4 children: Charles, Anne, Andrew, and Edward. Their union became one of the great partnerships of the British monarchy, with Prince Philip supporting his wife through decades of public service. Elizabeth's life took an unexpected turn in 1952 when her father passed away, and she became queen at just 25 years old. Her coronation on June 2, 1953, was a momentous occasion that drew millions of viewers from around the world, as it was the first ever to be televised. Queen Elizabeth's reign saw significant transformations in both Britain and the wider world. Throughout her long tenure, she witnessed the end of the British Empire and the decolonization of many of its former territories. The monarchy transitioned from overseeing an empire to leading a commonwealth of nations, many of which became independent republics. Elizabeth's diplomatic skills and ability to foster unity among diverse countries were key elements of her reign. She met with countless world leaders, from Winston Churchill to Nelson Mandela, always maintaining the decorum and grace expected of a monarch. Perhaps one of the most defining features of Elizabeth's reign was her unwavering sense of duty. She navigated tumultuous times with poise, whether during the post-war years of austerity, the rise of the European Union, or the challenges of modern-day politics. Her deep commitment to service was evident in her personal motto: never complain, never explain. Despite facing personal tragedies, such as the death of Princess Diana in 1997 and public scrutiny over royal family affairs, Queen Elizabeth II remained a symbol of stability for her people. Her relationship with the public evolved over time. Initially seen as a distant figurehead, she became more approachable in the latter part of her reign. The public embraced her not only for her constancy, but for her genuine interest in the welfare of the nation. She made numerous visits to the Commonwealth, celebrated jubilees, and was a symbol of British endurance and resilience during the uncertainties of the 21st century. Queen Elizabeth II also modernized the monarchy. She was the first British monarch to engage with social media, offering a more personal connection to the public. Throughout her reign, she adapted the royal family to the changing times, balancing tradition with the need to remain relevant in an increasingly interconnected world. In 2015, she surpassed the record set by her great-great-grandmother, Queen Victoria, becoming the longest reigning British monarch. Her remarkable resilience in the face of personal and public challenges made her a beloved and respected figure across the world. When Queen Elizabeth II passed away, her son Charles ascended to the throne as King Charles III. While her death marked the end of an era, her legacy remains. Queen Elizabeth II's reign was not defined by flashy achievements, but by her steady and unflinching presence during some of history's most transformative periods. She was a constant, a symbol of continuity, and a living bridge between generations. Her death marked the close of a remarkable chapter in history. But Queen Elizabeth II's legacy as a symbol of grace, dignity, and devotion to duty will continue to resonate for generations to come. Thanks for tuning in to Who Immortal today. If these transformations blew your mind, don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends. Let's spread the shock and awe. Which celebrity's transformation surprised you the most? Comment below and tell us your thoughts. We love hearing from you. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss our latest celeb stories and epic transformations. See you in the next video. Stay curious and keep celebrating the legends who live on forever.